Hey, I'm Kirk Windstein from the band Crowbar out of New Orleans. I started using the Orange Crush 120s. I ran into Alex at a show in Atlanta. We kind of reconnected again because when I left Down, I had always used Randall Solid State with Crowbar from the 80s. Dimebag turned me on to him when Phil Anselmo joined Pantera in like 87. And had used them ever since for Crowbar. And he was like, good to see you again, because when I had sent him the email and explained my situation leaving Down and whatnot, and that, I wasn't going to be using Orange, but thank you for everything, and I still love the product. So he's like, I got something you might dig. And I'm like, what's that? He goes, we make a solid state amp now. How about I send you one? And I said, sure. So he did, and I'm like, I can't wait to get this fucking thing in the rehearsal room. So I got it there, and within 2 or 3 minutes, I was like, this is definitely what I'm looking for, for Well, the thing is, up until when Dime turned me on to the Randalls, was right around the time when we started drop tuning. Like about 1988, Crowbar were tuning to B standard and drop A. Like way before the 7-string thing came into popularity and all that kind of stuff. And I couldn't get a good tone out of any tube amp. But the Randalls, the solid state, of it got, the bottom end and everything was so much tighter. It wasn't so broken up, and so I was sold on the solid state thing. And when I tried the Orange Crush 120, I was blown away at how much, even with our tuning, it sounds like a tube amp. It's got warmth that a normal solid state amp doesn't have. It's a better version of what I've been looking for, I'm very old school. I don't use an effects loop or anything. I actually just use of course, a tuner, but and I know they suck. Everybody else asks me why I use it. I use a Metal Zone, but I use it as a clean boost. So my level's on 10, my overdrive is on 0, so I'm getting no saturation from it. The EQ's at 12 o'clock. So the pedals, actually, I'm not really using any EQ or gain. It just kind of gives it a clean boost and tightens it up. As far as my settings, I'm still kind of tweaking it. I have my bass on about 8, my treble on about 4.5 or 5, and my mids on about 4. And it's right now, it's still one of those. It's still a work in progress. For me though, using Orange 412s, it's the wood, the Baltic birch, the rear mounted. I use a vintage Selections 30s, that's pretty much the only speaker I like to use. It's the same ideas, the Marshall, the same ideas, the Boogie and everything else. I just think it's a better made cabinet, and it's even our sound guy in the States was saying, we were talking about the Orange cabinets, and he was like, man, I should never got fucking rid of mine. It's like the best sonic cabinet, and to me it just is. It's just, when you pick the cabinet up, you can tell it's just fucking heavy, and not just sounding, no pun intended, but it's just a lot heavier duty cabinet. The handles are metal, and everything's not plastic and trying to cut corners and whatnot. It's just a very well made product, and that shows in the tone you get out of it.